Hey everybody, welcome to Detour Ahead. It's a podcast or something. I don't know. I don't know. What the fuck? What is this? What are we here? Why are we here? What are we doing on this planet? Help me.
Help
I'm
you,
not,
help you, help me, help you.
help me help you. Girl, what you try to do? I'm Riely, this is Alex.
It's the opening to your comedy album that's coming out soon.
Hell yeah.
You heard it here. He's releasing a comedy album just like I wanted him to.
Coming someday.
Coming soon to an iTunes feed near you.
I have plenty of comedy albums. They're called podcasts.
No. It's not the same. It's not the same.
Fair enough.
You gotta hit that billboard. You gotta hit the billboard charting.
So, Harvey Weinstein's been in the news lately.
What?
That was a bit. Don't worry about that. Alex, how have
Is
you
that a
been
joke?
this week?
Huh?
How you been this week?
I've been stressed.
Big
Looking,
stressy.
I've been packing away everything because I'm looking for a new apartment. The company I worked for got dropped, so I have to go through the process of going to a new company, which isn't stressful, but like new job, new people. I don't really like talking to people, so
Understandable.
there's that. New apartment and everything like that. Looking for a new place kind of sucks. So I was packing stuff up in like boxes and shit, and I have a box for like garbage that I find, stuff that I don't want. And as I'm cleaning around my room, I'm just throwing stuff in there. I come across a couple super dirty glasses and like cups, glass cups. And I'm like, I'm not washing these. Fuck these. I'll throw them away. I don't care for them. I don't want them. So I toss one. I toss another. And then the final one is a wine glass that was behind the TV. So
Yeah.
I toss it and it explodes into shards of glass all over my room.
Beans.
Because that's what happens when you take glass and you toss it across, you lob it to the other side of the room to where other hard objects are, and it just shatters.
I've definitely tactically thrown glass objects, intending for them to land on soft things. Fortunately, I've been mostly successful, and they were much higher stakes than what you were doing because the glass things that I'm referring to are tablets and cell phones.
Anyway, this story has a happy ending. All right.
Oh, okay.
So the wine glass shatters, and this was about 4 days ago. I have gotten glass stuck in my foot about 5 fucking times.
It's not a very happy ending.
No, it's funny though, because I'm too lazy to go grab the vacuum.
You just haven't cleaned it at all? What the fuck? At least fucking grab a broom. Like, what the fuck?
I don't think you understand the amount of effort that goes behind actually doing something about it.
Not enough. Not enough to not do it when the alternative is getting glass in your foot 5 times.
No. It's not like shards of glass are getting stuck in my foot. I just step on them, go, oh, what the fuck is that? Pick my foot up and pull and take a little piece of glass off, and I'm like, oh, and I laugh to myself. Oh, there was glass in my foot. That's all right.
I think I'm just uber sensitive to pain. So, like, if any amount of glass gets in my foot, it's an ordeal. It is very hard for me to pull glass out of my foot.
It's not getting. There's been no blood. I haven't gotten cut yet.
Oh, fair enough.
So that happened. Let's see. Hunter Fox has not gotten back to me yet. He's not emailed
Damn
me.
it. Gotta know about those gay billionaire dinosaurs.
Just want some questions.
Listen, Alex, we have a saying around here. Get on the fucking mic.
I thought. No. I'm sorry. I thought I had audio coming from somewhere,
Yeah,
and I thought it was my fault, but it's not. So it's okay.
I see. My big toe is casting a really big shadow. It's funny.
How high are you right now?
No, officer, it's hi, how are you?
That's why I asked.
I'm not actually oh, okay. Uh, I'm pretty good, how are you? No, I'm not actually that high. I smoked a little bit this morning, and then I left my weed pen at work when I left early, unannounced, so
Oh no!
yeah.
Oh no! Are you gonna get it back?
I mean, probably not for a while, because I'm gonna have to not go tomorrow, and I don't wanna show up just to get my weed pen from my office.
That's understandable, man. I feel it.
I'll just have to buy, like, a cheap one. That's
Let's
what
see.
I've done that so many fucking times, and it's gotten to the I've had to take multiple desperate measures. It was especially. Have I told the story about the hurricane weed thing
Hurricane
on the
weed?
show? No, hurricane. It's not hurricane branded weed. It's not like hurricane water. But I left Earth. I left Earth. I
Well,
left
yeah, that's kind of
work.
what happens when you smoke too much weed.
Yeah, true. I left work the day before the hurricane was supposed to hit, and I realized I had left my weed pen in my office, and I knew the building was closing early, so I couldn't. The last time I was desperate, the result of that desperation was me getting an Uber to work and back just to grab it from work. But now that wasn't even an option because work was closed. So I had to, and it was raining, so I couldn't walk to a smoke shop. So I had to get an Uber to a smoke shop. Cuz I was like I'm not going to be in my house potentially like without power for several hours without fucking weed. It's not happening. So I Ubered it to a smoke shop, and the smoke shop I chose to Uber to closed early because of the fucking hurricane. But thank God my Uber driver was a G and was like, I know there's another smoke shop on the way back. We could just stop there. And then we did, and it was open. So shout out to that Uber driver, legend. But you know, sometimes desperate times call for desperate measures. You know, it happens. Happens to the best of us.
Yeah, makes sense. Makes sense. Um, let's see what else has happened this week. Oh, you like football? You like football? Do you know about
Uh,
this? You hear about this?
do you hear about this? You ever heard of this? No, I've never heard of football. Well, tell me about what happened in football, though.
The fucking Browns won their first game, baby! Let's go!
Yay!
We beat the Cleveland Browns have beaten the Cincinnati Bengals, which is a great first game and a great win. We beat them 24-3, which is an absolute blowout for the first game of the season. Also the home opener. And just to sprinkle a little bit more joy in the Browns fans' lives, our rivals, the Pittsburgh Steelers, got absolutely demolished in their first game. So it was a great first week in football for us.
I just
Great
heard the
first
name
week.
Pittsburgh Steelers, and the team that popped in my head was not the Pittsburgh Steelers. The logo that popped up in my head was for a very different team.
What team?
Green Bay Packers. I don't know why that logo popped in my head when I thought Steelers. I was like, no, wait, that's the Green Bay Packers.
Look, I'll tell you now. I will tell you now. I'm excited. I've been riding this high for at least Sunday. Since Sunday. And it's going to last up until the Browns completely lose. So there's going to be about 4 to 5 weeks of me starting the podcast off every week with recapping what happened to the Browns this week until the Browns completely fuck everything up and they just decide to stop playing football halfway through the season, which is where I stop listening because I'm not going to support people who don't know how to do their fucking jobs for $0.8 million.
I remember when I almost started a football podcast. Thank God I dodged that bullet.
Dude, football's rough.
A friend of mine, he who shall not be named, we were coming up with concepts for shows, and there was one show we did that actually came out. It was a debate show. It is now lost media. I don't think it exists anymore. We did one episode, and there was another friend on it, and his track was so out of sync with our two tracks, it was fucking absurd. So I hope somebody got fired for that blunder. But we also had a concept, and I think we might have like gotten into a recording chat and done it, but I don't think it ever came out. And the idea was the podcast was going to be called "What Is a Football," and the premise was going to be that he would try to explain to me what football was, and that was the podcast.
Oh, we talked about this already.
Did we?
Yeah, because Markiplier and his friend do a
Oh yes, they do a similar
my
thing.
favorite.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's called Go My Favorite Sports Team.
That might be fun. Maybe what is a football is a concept that I will revive at some point if I can find a friend who's into football.
Yeah, don't come to me. I don't know enough about football. I'm a poser. I might seem like I know about football. I just enjoy it because it keeps me close to my dad. Because my dad and I have nothing in common except for the fact that we both. He knows a lot about football. I watch it just have something to talk to him about each week. So
Yeah, I don't even know what even is a football, so
that's okay. You and a bunch of other people don't know.
fair. Anything else this
Oh
week, Alex?
no, just the final warning. You're gonna watch, since this is a weekly podcast, you're gonna watch as my mood towards the Cleveland Browns goes from an all-time high where I'm yelling and I'm in like I'm ecstatic and joyful about how they do, and you're just gonna watch the depression train slowly pull up, because every year they do really, really well, and they start off strong, and then at some point in time they just decide, you know what, we don't really like playing football anymore, and then they just stop playing and they just shit the games away.
Damn it, Browns. Step it up. Hustle up, Cleveland Browns. I can't believe they're called the Cleveland Browns. I know the thing that I'm thinking of is named after them rather than them being named after the thing that I'm thinking of, but it's still funny. Perhaps I may be thinking of a man who is proud to be back in his hometown with his new family, with
What?
old friends and new friends, and even a bear. Through good times and bad times, it's true love we share. This is the Cleveland Show theme song, in case you hadn't picked up on that
Oh,
already. Listen, Alex, I don't got a lot of energy tonight. I'm going to need you to step it up for both of our sakes.
sorry, someone texted me about a room opening up for like an apartment, so I was
Oh,
responding.
shit, dog.
Anyway, that's pretty much it. That's all I have for this week. Thank you everybody so much for listening to Detour Ahead.
Thanks. See you later.
It's just a weekly recap podcast where we just talk about what happened in the week and just
Talk
leave.
about how Alex's week was and not mine, and then just end the show. No topic.
It's Alex's Big Adventure podcast.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, rebranded as the Colochi cast. Riely, what have you been up to this week?
I don't know if we need to talk about what I'm doing this week. I don't know. I don't know if people want to hear about that on this comedy podcast.
Is this a comedy podcast?
It's supposed to be. Yeah, I had a significant death in the family today, which is going to make it seem sociopathic that I'm here doing this, but it is a coping mechanism. So yeah, you know, kind of.
Not only is it a coping mechanism, it's also you have a weekly duty to get this done. So
True, but I'm sure if I didn't want to, you would be understanding.
Would I? Would I be
you?
understanding?
Would you?
Would I?
You probably would be.
Would I? Ask yourself, would I be understanding?
I'm pretty sure I could cancel the show for no reason and you wouldn't care. I feel like that has happened before. But yeah, I had a significant death in the family today, so that's kind of weighing on me. Kind of. I mean, the week was kind of normal up until that point. Nothing like cool happens. Uh, Monday sucked because of fucking a completely fucking avoidable computer issue that happened to me because I'm a fucking idiot. Where we had a fucking work from home agent there staging their equipment for fucking hours because it just like wouldn't log in right. And then after like literally just like hours of jerking this person around and like talking to IT people and trying to figure out what the fuck was happening, it was the keyboard. It was the fucking keyboard. Because the thing was, that isn't what I suspected, because we did successfully connect once. So I was like, okay, so I am entering the password correctly. So there must be something wrong that it's not connecting anymore. And then I realized that on this keyboard, because I was on a call with an with like one of the higher IT people on that computer trying to figure out what the fuck was going on. They successfully did the thing in front of me like 8 times. And it's like, what is happening? And they're like, I don't know. We can't see what you're putting in the password field. So I just went to a different place and started typing in the password. And then I realized that the Z button only worked sometimes. And that was the problem. So that was my Monday. And this person had like an antsy 2-year-old with them too. We kept having to take the phone with the funny little cartoon fish videos on it from so we could get the code for the login.
For what game? What? Wait. I'm sorry. You know what? I'm gonna put my phone away because this is distracting me.
Yes,
All right.
please do.
Repeat what you said so that I can engage with you in a intellectual and comedic conversation.
Okay, so I was being vague on details on purpose, and I still will be. But we had to enter something to connect to something for this work from home agent to be able to go home with their equipment. And for some reason, it was not working correctly.
Okay.
And we spent a bunch of time trying to figure it out. There was a point where we got it to connect once, but then when we tried to do it again, because we needed the person to practice and prove that they knew how to do it, it wasn't working after the one time. So I'm talking to like people higher up in the IT chain trying to figure out what the hell is going on. And then just after all this rigmarole, after a fucking like hour and a half of keeping this woman waiting, this woman who was there with her antsy 2-year-old girl, I realized I was on a call from that computer with an IT tech. They remoted in. They did the thing that I was trying to do successfully in front of me twice. And they're like, we don't know what's going on. We can't see what you're typing in the password field. We're getting it right. And then I just like went to another window where what I was typing was visible and started typing in the password. And I realized it was the fucking keyboard the whole time. The Z button was like it was working sometimes, but not all the time. And that was the problem.
The Z button
The
was
Z
working
button. It was
only
working,
half
but
the time.
only half the time. Yes, and that was the issue. That's how we successfully connected the one time, because the Z happened to work that one time, but all the other times it did not. So yeah, I wasted like an hour and a half of this woman's time, who was there with an antsy 2-year-old who we kept making cry because we had to take the phone from her to get the fucking login code.
That sounds entertaining.
I felt so bad.
Kids are terrible. I don't have kids.
He was cute though. She had like one of those little they gave her one of those little like fidget things where there's like I don't know if you've ever seen this before. It's like a little square and it's got like little pushy things in it.
Oh, the little
Yeah,
pop-ups?
yeah. So they gave that to the kid, and I remember she dropped it once, and I picked it up, and then she dropped it again like 30 seconds later. It's really funny. But yeah, so that was my Monday. I've had a very stressful couple of weeks of work. It has been very busy. Thankfully, it has finally died down to some degree.
That's good.
Uh, un- Unfortunately, I'm gonna have My whether I'm going to be able to go to work for the rest of the week is tenuous, and I do have something I need to get done, so I will have to get there at some point. But it will be a matter of when and how long, and whether I can complete this task. So that's going to be fun. But yeah, life goes on.
So is your job like I can possibly do this from home, or
no,
not at all?
no.
Damn, that sucks, man.
So I do at some point this week have to go back in there. I almost want to just like go, just like regular, because I don't want to lose the money. But my mother wants me to be home tomorrow, and that makes sense, and I will do that. But yeah, I got to figure that shit out.
Yeah.
So fun times, fun times.
Fun times, fun times. You'll figure it out.
I'll figure it out.
You're smart.
It's one of those things where like you procrastinate and then circumstances change and you're like, why the fuck did I procrastinate? Oh no. Because I was working on this very diligently on Monday, and like I got to a point where I was at like one of the last steps, but it was like a really tedious and annoying step. So I went to my boss and I was like, "Hey, do I have to like get this done today?" And she's like, "No, you just have to get it done by next week." And I was like, "Oh, okay." So I stopped doing it on Monday and didn't work on it at all yesterday or today. And for some reason, I think it's Wednesday. It's not Wednesday. Forget what I said about yesterday and today. It's just
It is Tuesday.
it is Tuesday.
Regular
So
Tuesday afternoon
yeah,
podcast.
for real this time. We're not doing a meme this time.
What do you mean? We've
Yeah.
never
What do you
done a
mean?
meme.
No memes were ever done. But yeah, so
Everything we say on this podcast is 100% true.
100% full facts.
Hurricane Water, you can find it on shop.detourahead.com.
Hell yeah. But overall, bad times at the El Royale, but we'll get through it. I don't even know if I quoted the name of that movie right.
What movie?
I believe it's called Bad Times at the El Royale. I'm
I've
not
never heard of that
confident
before.
in that, though.
Be confident in everything you say and people will believe you.
Fair.
Like, I go around and tell people this is the greatest podcast of all time. I love my co-host. I love doing it with them every week. It's great. It's like the best thing I've ever done, and people believe me.
You fucker.
If you sound confident in what you tell people, people will believe you.
I feel like you've been being mean to me today, to Alex.
Why am I being mean to you? I've never been mean to
I
you.
feel like you're picking on me today.
Why? Cite your
know.
sources. How am I picking on you today?
Source, bro?
Source Pixar didn't happen.
I didn't take any pictures of our voice chat, unfortunately.
Do you have the audio recording?
No.
Of me explicitly being mean to you?
I have the audio recording of 1 minute ago when you said that you lie to your friends about how you love your co-host.
Oh, I'm sorry. If you could get that and replay it, if we could have like a little replay button.
Yeah, okay.
My lips never said the word lie.
Alex versus Alex.
I never said the word lie. I said all you have to do is be confident in what you say, and people will believe anything will believe anything.
Alex. It's full of shit.
Never said lie. I never said I lie about anything. I said everything we say on this podcast is absolute.
100%, 100%.
100% truth.
Anyway, gamers, what are you talking about today, Alex?
I don't know. What are we talking about, Riely?
You fucker. The first rule of improv is yes and.
The second rule is deflect.
Those two seem like two very, very opposing.
All right.
I mean, the first and second rule of improv.
All right, let's restart. All right, let's restart. Now that I know the rules of improv, let's restart this and try again.
Okay, Alex, what are we talking about today?
Yes, and
I knew it. I fucking
what are we talking about, Riely?
you You fuck. Yes, and.
Isn't that the rule? Yes, and?
Yes, of course.
I followed the rule, didn't I?
You did. Good job. You've done it. Today, we're here to revisit a topic that I feel was not covered to its appropriate depth on this podcast the first time that we touched upon it, way back in episode 7 of Detour Ahead with our good buddy Raging Gingy. We discussed a franchise very very near and dear to the hearts of many, including our hearts, the Dragon Ball franchise. And I've been in a very nerdy Dragon Ball mood these past couple of days. You'll hear about it on the Colo Cast when it comes out in 6 to 8 months, and you're hearing about it now on this show.
You forgot to say what episode it was. It's episode 6.
Yeah, shut the fuck up.
I'm not putting episode numbers. I'm releasing them. However, whatever I pick, that's how they're saved. By the way, it's literally just saved Colocast. That's it. That's all it's saved as.
That's so dumb. Don't do that.
No, I think it's
you already you only have 2 of them. There's still time to correct your
decisions. One could be 1, what could be 2. Or it could be labeled as random numbers. It doesn't matter. You'll never know. The more marketing I do to lie to everybody who watches my shit, the better it's gonna be. I could release. Well,
there's no lying going on because, of course, we tell the truth about everything.
Of course, I always tell the truth. I always tell the truth. All day, every day, I tell nothing but the truth. Like how I love doing this podcast. It's my favorite thing in the world, and I can't wait for it to happen every week.
How you love Riely so much. She's your best friend.
Yeah, Riley's my best friend. I can't wait to do this podcast with them every single week. I love it. It's like my favorite thing in the world.
Fuck yeah. Let's go.
See? All truth.
I mean, it does say in your YouTube bio that I'm your best friend, so it's okay. I'll accept this truth. No! Why?
It says, in my best acquaintance.
Has it really?
No!
Okay. We're not bringing back the Alex isn't my friend arc, are we?
What do you mean bring back?
Shut the fuck you.
But that was a legitimate question.
Was it?
Yes, that was legitimately a question. What do you mean bring back?
Well, there was a time where perhaps most of our interactions were largely you ragging on me to the point where I started to doubt the validity of our friendship, which is something that has been cleared up in recent times. But I'm feeling the vibes today. We don't need to reminisce on those times.
You gotta bring it back occasionally. Keep you in your place.
Fair enough.
Anyway, what are we talking about?
Dragon Ball, I already said.
Nah, I figured you'd do it again.
Oh, okay. Today we're talking about Dragon Ball.
Are we talking about Dragon Ball?
Did it again.
Oh, Riely. We're talking about Dragon Ball today.
Oh, are we?
Yeah, that's
sick.
You asked me. So, Colo, what are we talking about today?
Earlier I asked you that question, and now you're responding.
And I responded with, oh yeah, we're talking about fucking Dragon Ball, man.
Hell
How I
yeah.
responded to that question.
Folks, Dragon Ball is so good. It's just a fucking masterpiece. It's so... I just have a lot of appreciation for it. I think, like, first of all, there was something I wanted to say to you that I was gonna say right away. I don't remember what it was now. Fucking goddamn it. I should have just said it earlier when I thought of it in the middle of you talking. Because now I don't remember. I hate my life. I've failed. It's time for me to go to my shame corner and die.
Add shit to your shitty ass jokes.
Fuck you.
I swear to God, if you come up here with like a little mini drum set and you just make jokes all the time and you go,
oh no, even better, slide whistle.
Oh God.
But Shit, man, Dragon Ball. All right, so I guess just to get it started, to get the conversation rattling. I guess first of all, I'll ask you that question I asked you earlier, and you responded with "Save the Dragon Ball talk for the podcast." So, my inspiration for my current Dragon Ball era is that I recently started watching Super again. I got back into Super, and I just finished the Resurrection F arc, a little bit behind, and I'm starting on the Universe 6 arc, and I've seen some of it, and I vaguely remember how stuff goes. I gotta know if I remember this correctly. Does Piccolo literally get knocked out in one hit?
It takes about like 14 minutes of bullshit fighting, but they're doing world tournament rules. So if you get knocked out of the ring, you're done.
Yeah.
And Frost, it's Frost v Piccolo. Frost is like Universe 6's Frieza.
Oh, doesn't Piccolo beat Frost and then Hit shows up and just fucking punches him in the face and he dies?
Nope. Frost does some sneaky bullshit and gets Piccolo out of the ring.
Ah, okay. I thought for some reason I remembered there being a Piccolo versus Hit fight in which Hit punches Piccolo once and he dies and fails. Thank God that doesn't happen. I'm ready for. I want to see Piccolo actually fight for a second. It's so funny how Gohan's like, I'm gonna join the tournament and prove how strong I am, and Goku's like, cool, see you in 4 days, and he's like, 4 days. I got a meeting to go to. I got a baby to raise. I'm gonna have to bow out of this tournament that I agreed to be in 5 seconds ago.
What?
Do you not remember that?
No, what happened?
So Goku and Vegeta go to recruit Piccolo for the tournament. And Gohan is there training with Piccolo. And they go there and they're gonna ask Piccolo to be in the tournament. And Gohan's like, "Can I be in the tournament?" And Goku's like, "Well, I don't know." And Gohan's like, "I've been training with Piccolo, and I want to prove how strong I am because I want to protect my family. Please let me be in the tournament." And Goku's like, "Okay, you could be in the tournament. It's in 4 days. See you in 4 days." And then Gohan's like, 4 days? I got like a conference call. I got like a baby. And he immediately bows out of the tournament.
Gohan does show up for the big tournament of power.
I know, I'm aware.
Just in case you were a little butthurt about it.
I have plenty of spoilers for Tournament of Power. I basically know everything that happens.
Oh,
I know what happens.
Do you?
I know that Gohan gets treated a lot better in the manga than he does in the anime. I'm not sure if you're aware of that.
I know absolutely nothing about the manga whatsoever.
So in the Tournament of Power in the anime, I believe doesn't Gohan get eliminated by the fucking Universe 6 Namekians?
I don't remember.
I'm pretty sure it's like a pretty humiliating elimination considering the character legacy of Gohan. In the manga, Gohan double KOs Kefla. Like they knock each other out. He ties with Kefla fusion.
Oh, the Potara fusion?
Yes. Which is fucking rad, and it makes me sad that did not happen in the anime.
Hold on, let me look this up, because I actually don't know.
Apparently, it's literally framed by like the fucking dialogue between Yamcha and Super Saiyan Blue Goku in Dragon Ball FighterZ. Have you ever heard that before? In Dragon Ball FighterZ, if Yamcha and Super Saiyan Blue Goku fight, Super Saiyan Blue Goku's statement is like, "Yamcha, are you sure you want to do this?"
Oh, Gohan got eliminated as it was a sacrificial elimination.
Yes. In the anime, you mean?
Yes.
Yeah, you're right.
Against one of the Universe 11 guys.
Ah, okay.
So not the not Universe 6.
For some reason, I thought that was Universe 6 Namekians. That might be Piccolo I'm thinking of. But yeah, in the manga, he fucking double KOs Kefla, and that's much radder.
Look, there was a lot of fuckiness that went on during the Tournament of Power. I am not all the way through. I am I'm on the episode where Goku becomes Ultra Instinct.
Oh, you haven't finished Dragon Ball Super either?
No,
Okay. Oh, I
no,
remember I was
I
gonna
need
say.
to.
Yeah,
I'm
I
on
remember I
true
was.
crime documentaries right now, but
Shut up about true crime for a second. I don't want to lose this again. Okay, so can you imagine, right? So it's been a question in the Dragon Ball fan base for a long time because if you're in the know, you know that there are multiple arcs of the Dragon Ball Super manga that occurred after the anime concluded, and it is still an up in the air question as to whether those manga arcs will get anime adaptations as a revival of Super or what have you. Can you imagine? So, so I mentioned earlier how it like literally took me 2 years. I think it was off air. I didn't want to skip anything, but I was bored by the movie arcs, and it literally took me 2 years to get through fucking Battle of Gods and Resurrection F. Imagine Dragon Ball Super anime is coming back, but they waste the first like 13 some odd episodes doing a Super Broly arc.
I really hope they don't.
That would be so funny. It would suck, but it'd be really funny. To be
I
fair,
really
even though it took me a long time to finish them, just because like I kind of knew what was going to happen, so I wasn't as motivated to watch. I will say that I prefer the Resurrection F arc of Super to the Resurrection F movie for sure.
Oh, the arc is so much better
I feel the opposite about Battle of Gods, though. The movie was much better in that case.
because the movie was more cinematic.
True. Battle of Gods. So to go on a negative thing about Dragon Ball for a minute. I talked some shit about Super last time, but I don't think I was super clear about my specific issues with it. I mentioned that it had character issues. Here's the
Yeah,
here's the largest issue, if you will, with Dragon Ball Super, right? The character regression of Son Goku. You know what I'm talking about? You feel me here?
go on.
So Goku throughout Dragon Ball Z grows and matures. Despite still being a goofy dumbass, he grows and matures into a adult warrior who is capable of being very serious when he needs to be, and
Yes,
a real adult man who is like a hero and like cares for his family and is like mature and like aware of the world around him. Then Super comes along. Straight dumbass, zero IQ.
yeah, yeah. I never really understood that part. I never really
Like
understood
we follow
why.
him through Dragon Ball Z, like growing as like a warrior and as a father, and like just becoming an adult man, and then like all of that is gone in Super.
Just goes straight back to certified piece of shit.
And you get like glimpses of it still, like it comes out, but that's just really jarring when like the rest of the show, Goku's like, hey,
Why does Goku sound like a Muppet? Is there any reason why Goku sounds like a Muppet now?
you know, not one that I can put into words. He just gives Muppet vibes now. But yeah, it's just really unfortunate because I think Dragon Ball Z has some of the most brilliant character work for like all of the characters, Goku included, and I feel like a lot of it is ignored in Super. Like even with Vegeta, like the Buu saga ends with Vegeta being like, all right, Goku, you are the number one fighter." And then Dragon Ball Super comes along and it's like, fuck you, Kakarot, again. Not that that was the first time that happened to Vegeta. There was also the end of the Cell Saga when he said, "I am no warrior and I'll never fight again." And then he fought again in the Buu Saga.
Yeah, I mean, it. There's a lot of inconsistencies within the Dragon Ball universe, but
It's unfortunate because there's definitely like a lot of brilliant character work, but I feel like a lot of it ends up getting ignored in the long run. The one character who I will defend forever, for all time, as having the perfect character arc, despite everybody saying he actually had an awful and bad character arc. I think even Super maintains this in a great way. Gohan. I don't think Gohan's character ever got bad. He got weak, but that was an important part of his character. And I think the story they told with Gohan, even the parts where he was a jobber, were very compelling and very just a very interesting character a very interesting character study.
It's very interesting to see how his relationship with his father compared to his relationship with Piccolo.
Yeah, that's definitely the initial draw of his character. And then like there's the big like climax that everybody cites as like Gohan's final ride before his regression, which I strongly disagree. I will get into that in a moment. But of course, there's the Cell Saga where he rises to the occasion, achieves Super Saiyan 2, and kicks Cell's ass. That shit was amazing. Like I said last time that the Android Cell Saga is my favorite saga of Dragon Ball history, and I still stand by that 100%. But then obviously everybody knows the story. He defeats Cell, and then he stops fighting and he stops training and he gets weak and he gets soft. And then when the Buu Saga happens, he's like completely useless until he gets his transformation. And although I understand people's disappointment regarding the where he was left in the Cell Saga, I think it makes perfect sense for Gohan. Like Gohan as a character, 100% that tracks and makes perfect sense. Like he doesn't like to fight. That was a very prominent theme of the Cell Saga, where if you'll recall, Goku was like, "Yeah, I've got a master plan. I'm gonna make Gohan fight Cell, and he's gonna get stronger than even me, and it's gonna be so cool." And then Piccolo was like, "Yeah, but one problem with that, he doesn't like fighting though." And Goku's like, "Wait a minute."
He doesn't like fighting because he was traumatized as a child.
Yeah, he had to start fucking having fights for his life at age 5.
Like all he wanted to do was follow his dad, who was never there, and like that's it. He's just Goku's never around for Gohan, so Chi-Chi he basically grew up to be Chi-Chi with his father's genes.
And then it makes sense when Goku dies and the Earth reaches a peaceful state that Gohan is not gonna participate in fighting. He's gonna stop training, he's gonna get soft. That all makes sense. I think it's a compelling character arc for Gohan to like try to get into life as a normal kid, but then he's just got this instinct in him to help people, so he goes out and starts being a fucking vigilante superhero. And then fucking an evil wizard shows up threatening to revive a demon that can destroy galaxies in a single blast. And he sucks and is bad and gets fucked up. And it makes sense because that's who Gohan is. He doesn't like to fight. So once the motivation of the Earth being in danger and the motivation of spending time with his father was gone, he didn't do it.
So like if we want to like fully analyze Gohan starts off with like we start off with Gohan being like a literal child, like baby.
He's 3 at the beginning of Dragon Ball Z. 3 years old.
And he watches his father sacrifice himself to take down Raditz, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. It's been a minute.
You are correct, sir.
Okay.
Ma'am.
And so then Gohan sees his dad die in the Saiyan saga. In the Cell saga, in the Android Cell saga, he doesn't want to fight. He actively says he doesn't want to fight, but he knows he has to. So he already is doing something he doesn't want to do. On top of that, he gets to know Android 16 a little bit. And then Cell just completely fucking demolishes him, which sends him straight into Super Saiyan 2 out of, like, legit fury.
And then the Super Saiyan 2 taps too much into his fucking Saiyan biology, so he starts playing with his food and just fucking around with Cell, and that gets his dad killed again by sacrificing himself again.
And then you go to, I completely skipped over the fucking Frieza saga, where he goes to an alien planet and watches Krillin die. He watches all his friends die, Krillin die, He watches Vegeta
We
fight
didn't even
till the
mention
very,
Piccolo's death
very
during the
end.
Saiyan saga, which was also very traumatic.
I forgot about that.
Because he got
Piccolo's sacrifice.
after Goku died, Gohan got a new dad named Piccolo, and then that new dad died against the Saiyans too.
So like there's nothing to support Gohan liking fighting. Nothing. There's nothing out there that suggests that Gohan legitimately likes to battle. That's it.
So once he reaches a point where he feels like he doesn't have to anymore, he doesn't.
He doesn't.
And that ends up being an issue. And I understand why people are upset that Gohan ends one arc being the strongest character and then goes into the next being a jobber. But it makes sense. And I think it is a well-told character story. And it is the one well-told character story that I think carries masterfully into Super, where he continues to be a fucking jobber. He obviously gets his ass. He gets one-shotted by Beerus just like everyone else. And then in Resurrection F, he's a complete fuck up. Like he lost his gi. He doesn't remember how to go Super Saiyan at first. Like he's completely done with fighting because he's raising a daughter. Like he doesn't
Exactly.
but then Frieza shows up and kills Piccolo and blows up the planet and kills his wife and child, even though he gets to go back in time and reverse that. But then that's when he realizes, like, oh shit, I have a family to protect. I do need to fight. And we get to see him rise again through the beginning of the Universe 6 arc when he's training with Piccolo.
Now this is another thing, real quick. How much do you know about the Future Saga?
All of it, basically.
So that's a completely different Gohan too.
What is his role in the Future Saga? I don't remember hearing anything about. I know he trains with Piccolo in the Universe 6 saga, and then by the Tournament of Power, he proves that he's decently powerful by going toe to toe with Super Saiyan Blue Goku in his ultimate form, and then gets jobbered sacrificially in the Tournament of Power. If you watch the anime instead of reading the manga, which is obviously superior.
The Future Saga happens before the Tournament of Power.
Yes, I know. I'm just going into like what I know about Gohan.
Future Gohan. I'm talking about Future Gohan.
That man died a long time ago, Alex.
Yes, but okay. It's brought up a little bit more. There's a little bit more, but like that's another crazy thing where he basically just goes and becomes the mentor for Trunks. And takes over this "I'm going to save the world" mantra after his father is no longer able to come back.
Yeah, he has to become the Goku in this scenario because Goku dies and there's still a threat. The difference between the two situations is in the main timeline, Goku died, but there was no threat. So he got to just like chill and be in peace. In the future, Goku dies, but there is still a very active threat. So Gohan had to become Goku, essentially. And then train somebody to take over for him when the androids killed him.
I do know Gohan does... What's the word? Jobber?
Jobber, yeah.
Where the fuck did that come from? I meant to cut you off earlier.
It's something Mo Diggity says. I don't even know if I'm using it right, but I believe it basically means like a big fuck up. Like Mo calls like Yamcha jobber, he calls Gohan in the Buu Saga jobber. It means like you're a fuck up and you get killed easily. Are you Googling this word right now?
I'm talking to future guest.
Okay.
I don't know if you want to name them or not. I'm talking to the one that was going to be on the episode, but had some stuff. So,
gotcha. Okay.
Working on a future guest spot, not Hunter Fox.
Unfortunately, not Hunter Fox.
You know, that reminds me. Fuck Mark Sargent and his pussy ass bitch. Mark Sargent's never gonna come on this fucking podcast. Email me back, motherfucker. Because I emailed him, I was like, hey, what happened? We were supposed to record and you completely ghosted me. I'm like, I think that's really unprofessional for someone with 300,000 subscribers. I go, you agreed to everything, and then the day of, you backed out, pussy, fucking bitch.
Did you call him a pussy bitch in the email?
No, I was very professional.
Okay, cool.
I just asked him, hey, I I wanted to know. He left me on. I'm pretty sure he left me on red. I guarantee you. What a pussy ass bitch though, dude. Like, how are you gonna run a YouTube channel and not like agree to go do? Like, how are you gonna agree to do something?
Yeah, exactly. Like, he has a big YouTube channel. He's like a popular guy. If he didn't respond to us at all, we would have never thought anything of it.
Mark Sargent, I wouldn't be calling him a pussy ass bitch if he never responded to me. That's why I'm respectful toward Hunter Fox. He is probably super busy writing Gay Billionaire Dinosaurs 3. And I understand that. He's got a publication.
He's an artist who needs to produce his art, yes.
Mark Sargent is a fucking moron who thinks the earth is flat.
So true. So true.
Can you tell I'm mad?
Yeah, I can tell you're a little mad. Like, I think the exploration of Gohan, like, getting soft and not training within the Buu saga as well. I'm just trying to get back on topic.
We don't have to stay on topic. I told you, every week I'm calling this dude out until he comes on.
Yeah, I got you.
I'll fucking go out to LA or California or wherever this soy boy bitch is at, and I'll fucking fight him. Because he's an asshole, and he's mean. And he's an idiot for thinking that the earth is flat. What a loser.
What a loser. But yeah, the character exploration of like Gohan not training during the Buu saga, I think, was very compelling. Like, I think the Great Saiyaman arc was really compelling because it's like he has this primal urge to help people. Like, even though he hates fighting, he's like, okay, there's shit going down, there's criminals in the streets hurting people. I gotta do something about it. Yeah. And
you can run away from the fight all you want. Well, not run away. You can avoid fighting all you want, but there's still always going to be that call to justice.
I think it's less his Saiyan biology because I don't think he's really affected by that. Like, I don't think the Saiyan drive to punch things exists within Gohan.
Because what does exist
within Gohan is a like pure human, like Spider-Man type compulsion, where it's like his great power comes with great responsibility.
I mean, but if you look at Goten and Trunks, they have that drive to go and fight.
They do, but I think it's one of those things where like
not Future Trunks, because Future Trunks is also similar to Gohan, where he's motivated by justice.
Yeah, I think the thing about halflings is
the kids are just like, "Hey, yo, Mr. Boo, get the fuck over here! I'm gonna fuck you up, bitch! Get over here! I'm gonna fight you!" And Goku and Piccolo are like, or Piccolo's like, "Yo, chill the fuck out, bro! Chill out, you two! You guys are children." And then they go Super Saiyan 3 and he shuts the fuck up.
But then he doesn't shut the fuck up anymore. That's another largest issue with Dragon Ball Super. The disrespect of Goten and Trunks. Like, they're powerful. They fought Majin Buu. The thing is, like, in Dragon Ball Super, always the narrative is like, oh, Goten and Trunks are just kids, it's dangerous. You made them fight Majin Buu!
Not dangerous.
You put them in an extremely dangerous situation already, and they excelled, and they became a fucking Super Saiyan 3. Something that not even Vegeta can fucking do. And then suddenly, fucking Frieza, who as far as they know is a fucking little bitch compared to Majin Buu, and they're like, oh, Goten and Trunks shouldn't fight aliens, they're just kids. What?
Just straight disrespect.
And then the fucking Universe 6 tournament comes up, and Goten and Trunks fly up to Goku and Vegeta, and Trunks is like, you're gonna let us compete, right? And Vegeta's like, fuck no, you little idiot. Fuck off.
Nah, what you guys are gonna do is you guys are gonna go protect all the animals from poachers, while we go take Android 17 and go fuck some shit up.
Oh no, I was talking about the Universe 6 tournament, but yes, that is what happens to them in the Tournament of Power. That was complete bullshit. You brought fucking Master Roshi and Tien?
Okay, how much of the Tournament of Power do you know?
The fact that they can go Super Saiyan puts them over Master Roshi and Tien immediately.
How much of Tournament of Power do you know?
A lot, and I know Master Roshi ends up being important, but that does not change the fact that
I don't want to like spoil anything though. But like, do you care?
No.
Master Roshi dies. They kill him. He gets brought back, but he dies.
You know who would have probably not died? 2 Super Saiyans.
Look, I think that I don't think they were going to be the strongest.
Fusion was allowed in that tournament.
I don't think they were not going to be the strongest team. They were going for strategy, which is why they brought them. They planned on sneaky bullshit to get people out. They brought Master Roshi to use the evil containment wave to throw people off the side.
No. You're right about Master Roshi. That's fair.
He's a sneaky little fuck. He's a sneaky little pervert fuck. All right? Okay, that's why they brought him.
Master Roshi earned his spot. But even then, keep what I'm saying with Tien and replace what I'm saying about Master Roshi with Krillin. And the same thing applies.
Krillin and Tien weren't really needed, to be fair.
Yeah, instead of Krillin and Tien, it should have been fucking Goten and Trunks.
That is fair, but they were looking for numbers as well. You don't want to bring the 2 kids just in case they were like, nah, fusion? No, fuck you. Not allowed. Because they didn't know all the rules. They didn't know if fusion was going to be allowed. Also, I'm pretty sure Bulma and
even if fusion isn't allowed, they're Super Saiyans. They automatically provide more value than Krillin and Tien do.
Okay, now go talk to the mothers and be like, yeah, this is to save the universe.
Goku did it 1,000 times with Gohan.
Yeah, look how he turned out. He's a little jobby. I think that the women got in. The moms got involved and said, no, you are not taking our children to something that dangerous. You also have to factor in, I don't think that they had the mental capabilities to be able to fight in something like that. Because they're too childish. You remember how Gotenks acted with Boo. Gotenks thought everything was a game.
But that's what Saiyans do. Gohan did the same thing 5 minutes later.
I don't know. I think they I don't know why they did Krillin because Krillin went and became a jobby as well.
Nah, well, I think Krillin has proven that he is extremely proficient. Like, I think he's kept up with his training. Like, I think in Super they make it clear that Krillin has not gotten weaker. Like, he stayed the same, if not gotten a little stronger.
I will say I saw something interesting. It was on the Dragon Ball subreddit, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Or Twitter. I don't know. It was something about Dragon Ball. It said Goku's going down the angel path. Vegeta's going down the God of Destruction path. And then which everybody pretty much knows at this point.
I really hope they don't turn it into like a Vegeta is the villain and has to be destroyed thing.
Well, no, it's a symbiotic relationship, basically.
Yeah, I know how the God of Destruction thing works, but the point is, if Vegeta ever becomes a God of Destruction, Goku's gonna be like, wait, I can't let you like destroy innocent planets. Like that's I can't allow that to happen.
That's not the whole thing, though. That wasn't the whole post. There were 2 other things. There were 2 other paths that 2 other characters were going down.
Okay.
Gohan's going down the Supreme Kai path.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Understood. Yeah. Okay. I could see that.
And Piccolo is going down. They said like a Shenron kind of path, but like the Dragon path, which kind of makes sense a little bit, just because the Namekians created them.
Because he's a Namekian.
Namekian.
He's a Namekian, you see.
Namekian.
Namekian.
Namekian. But like I thought that was cool that like each of them have like a future path and it kind of looks cool.
I'm just glad. So do you care about like No, we literally talked about this in the Colo cast. So there is a manga arc where Goten and Trunks are the focus, and I'm very excited.
I want them to continue the anime. I will 100% watch it.
I hope we get an anime of it for sure. But even if I have to read the manga, I will, because I'm the one man who I'm the Goten appreciator. I love Goten. I for years said Goten was my favorite character. I don't say that anymore because when I look at it objectively, there's not like a whole lot to him, but I still love him. And I'm very happy that they're going to they finally aged him up. I brought that in as an issue on Largest Issue in the Galaxy. I brought in Goten and Trunks not aging as an issue back in the day. How they put them in Dragon Ball Super, and even though they were canonically like 5 years older than they were in Z, they still looked they looked younger even. And then finally they aged them up for Superhero, and they aged them up for this manga arc. So I'm very excited to see like the matured characters of Goten and Trunks and see like a story focused on them. I'm very excited for that.
Their designs are so much better.
Oh, they're so good.
Okay, so you also have to factor in, I don't think they really wanted to age them up for Super, just because of how Dragon Ball GT went, where they aged them up.
But they also aged them up at the end of Z, and that was good.
That's fair, but I don't know. I think they were really struggling with the designs of the actual aging them up characters.
I think both iterations of their aged up design were well. Trunks is easy because they already had an aged up design for him. But
I think they were struggling with Goten's design
Z,
because they didn't want to do the same as GT.
I think both End of Z I almost called him Goten. End of Z Goten and GT Goten look amazing.
See, my thing that like makes me crazy about Dragon Ball Z is the fusions. Whether it's the fusion dance or Potara. I really wish that they would delve into that a little bit more.
Yeah.
Because right now you have Goten and Trunks and Goku and Vegeta. That's it. Oh, and Goku Black and Zamasu, Supreme Kai and
Shin. No. Shin was his fake name. Kibito
Kai. And then you have Kefla, Kale and Khalifa.
And if you play the video games, you have Tiencha.
But like that would have been cool to like dive into that, but like I don't see them doing anything like that because
bro,
there's no point. But
how is there not like a filler episode with Tiencha in it? They did a lot of silly shit during Super. They really should have done a Tiencha episode.
I don't understand why there's no filler on them just being like Krillin and Goten, or like not Krillin and Goten, but like
Gohan, I want there to be a filler episode.
Like, oh, well, this fusion thing seems kind of cool. Like maybe, what if?
I really, there should be a filler episode. Listen, if the Super anime comes back, not that you're gonna have much need for filler, considering you're like 8 manga arcs behind. But if ever there is a need for filler, there's a problem. There's some sort of issue where there's some sort of enemy where, even though they're not like crazy powerful, they present an issue to local civilians. And Tien and Yamcha have to team up to stop this threat, and then a Tiencha happens at some point in the big climax. That's what I want.
All right, we can either A, take a break, or B, you can go on a little rampage and just talk. I have to go to the bathroom.
We can take a break.
So we can either take a break or you can continue talking. I'll leave my headset on so I can come back and put my 2 cents in if you continue talking. But
nah, I'm not gonna ramble alone. I need a person here for that. We will be right back with the Detour Head podcast. This episode of Detour Head is brought to you by the Vito from Jimmy John's. I know previously I've shared ads for the Subway tuna sub. I have since been converted to Johnism. Everybody go to the Jimmy John's, get yourself a Vito with their special in-house mustard, bro. Miracle Cure. I know I said that the Subway tuna sub was the Miracle Cure. I lied to you. But this one, the Vito from Jimmy John's, cancer gone. Fucking Lyme disease gone. Fucking AIDS cured. All with the Vito from Jimmy John's, the sponsor of this episode of Detour Head. We now return you to your regularly scheduled programming.
And we are back. Welcome back. Are you guys ready to... What are we doing? What are we talking about?
Talk about Dragon Ball. All right. I've got a couple questions to pose. I'm gonna have a real serious gun to your head one in a minute, but this is a little bit of a lighter one. So this has been a hot topic in the Dragon Ball community. Many a debate has been had about this. It is a question: who is stronger between? It used to be a debate between two characters, but now a third character has proven that he might be a lot more competent than had been previously led on. So he has entered the debate as well. Besides Oob, because Oob is a cop out, who is the strongest human in Dragon Ball? Is it Krillin? Is it Tien? Is it Master Roshi? Alex, what are your thoughts?
Roshi.
You think so?
Right off the bat, Roshi.
For real? Tell me more. Elaborate.
He's got wisdom and strategy on his side, as well as being very, very powerful. Old age might have taken a little bit away from it, but I honestly think that just being able to hit hard won't win a legitimate fight against Master Roshi.
I suppose that's a fair logic to approach that with. I would argue that though Master Roshi is very strong and very wise and very powerful, I think Master Roshi's students have tended to become the master, and I think that's okay. And that applies to Goku, obviously, but I think it also applies to Krillin. I think Krillin has surpassed Master Roshi at this point. Master Roshi was his close teacher. He learned under his tutelage. He grew stronger in his own way, as well, in fighting alongside Goku against threats like the Saiyans and Piccolo and all that shit. And I think Krillin has surpassed Master Roshi at this point. And so the question for me at that point is Krillin stronger than Tien? Because that's the thing that always gets people, because there's evidence on both sides. The smoking gun for the Krillin end of the argument is what I believe might be a filler episode, but I'm not sure. But there is an interaction in which Marin, I believe it's a World Martial Arts. I think this is the end of Z, actually, so it is canon. There's a World Martial Arts tournament going on, and Krillin is fighting in it, and Marin is like nervous about Krillin fight. No, because Marin was still a little girl, so it couldn't have been the end of Z. No, she would have been a little girl at the end of Z. I'm thinking too strong of a time skip. So she's like nervous because Krillin is fighting in the tournament, and Yamcha's like, "Don't worry, Krillin is the strongest guy," basically. So everybody's like, "That means he's the strongest human. That's what that means." But there's obviously a lot of evidence for Tien proving to be extremely proficient to a point where a lot of people are led to assume that he is stronger. I feel like personally, even though Krillin is not as like fight oriented as Tien, I think at this point he has like surpassed him. Like they have very different ways of going about life. One of which is much more combat oriented, but I feel like even despite that, Krillin has maintained strength that is higher than Tien. What do you think about that debate just between the two of them? Because you've said that you believe Master Roshi is stronger than them both, but who do you think is stronger between the two?
Ooh, that's tough. I want to say Krillin. Because I don't think Tien has really because there's a whole thing about Krillin not keeping up with his fighting, but Tien never stops.
But I feel like, is there a whole thing about that? Because I feel like even though Krillin doesn't train as much, they kind of make it a point to be like, this is not a Gohan situation. He didn't lose that much power.
Yeah, but I feel like Tien would be a little more powerful just because Tien had a lot more time to train. A lot more time to focus on training.
Yeah, fair.
Because Tien's not raising a family.
He's raising a Chaozu.
Yeah, but that's like Yamcha and Puar.
That's fair.
It's like the same thing. I really wish they would bring Oolong back on adventures again, like the old days.
Yeah, that's true. He got to be important. He got to be important in Battle of Gods.
A little bit, but
he played the rock paper scissors game for the fate of the planet against Lord Beerus.
But like, I wish they would bring him on more adventures. He can't do anything, but his commentary is always funny, especially back in original Dragon Ball, where he's just a massive fucking pussy. But it's great. He's like, Goku, you got this. Go on.
I'd like to see like maybe like a special or a string of episodes. I want to see them like do like a Dragon Ball throwback. But instead of Kid Goku, it's Trunks. But Bulma and Oolong are there, and they go on a whimsical adventure for the Dragon Balls with Kid Trunks. That would be sick. That's what they should do.
But yeah, I'd have to say Tien, just because I feel like he has a little bit more time to focus on his training rather than Krillin, who's raising a family.
Yeah, that's fair.
All right, what's your next question?
All right, this is the big one.
The gun to my head question?
We did ask the biggest one last time. We asked favorite arc. I guess first of all, I'll ask, do you still stand by your favorite arc that you said?
When was this?
A long time ago. But I'm not going to remind you of what it was, because that will sway you. If you have to name your favorite...
me. It won't sway me. I promise. It won't sway me.
No. I'm not going to tell you. What's your favorite Dragon Ball arc?
You fucking
in all of Dragon Ball, Dragon Ball Z, Dragon Ball Super, Dragon Ball GT, what is your favorite arc?
Shadow Dragon Saga.
Okay, you're consistent. You're a consistent lady. You've done it.
Out of all of them, okay, so like, I don't really have a favorite arc in original Dragon Ball. I guess it's the end where he's facing King Piccolo.
You mean King Piccolo or Piccolo Jr.?
King Piccolo in original Dragon Ball.
Piccolo Jr.'s original Dragon Ball 2. The martial arts tournament fight between Goku and Piccolo is the last thing in Dragon Ball before Z.
Yeah, but I'm talking about King Piccolo.
Okay, that's what I wanted to clarify. You said in Dragon Ball after I asked, like you were implying that the other one wasn't. But
I want to say the Frieza saga is probably my favorite in DBZ.
That's fair. I meant like, what was your absolute favorite arc among all of them?
I'm just going through I'm going through the shows and saying my favorite.
Fair enough. That's true, because we didn't do that last time.
Is the Shadow Dragon? Oh, out of all of Dragon Ball, the absolute number one is Shadow Dragon Saga. A close second would be the Future Saga and Super.
You see, here's an argument I tried to get into a little bit last time, and I feel like I was not passionate enough about. It kind of triggers me that you and Gingy and a lot of other people, not a lot of other people, this is actually fairly unpopular, this phenomenon, but the fact that both of you are giving favorite arc answers that aren't original Toriyama stuff baffles me. Because I think
the concept of the Shadow Dragons is super fucking cool.
Oh, you're 100% correct. The concept and like the lore behind the Shadow Dragons.
Character, the idea and everything that Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta portrays is amazing. It's everything you like about what a fusion would be, especially from like the movies, but with silly little antics, and it's great. And that's what makes that arc so good.
So, I agree with that. Like, I think the lore is super cool. I love the Shadow Dragon. I will not be shy about that. I fucking adore the Shadow Dragon arc. The thing is, I feel like when somebody says their favorite arc is an arc from Super or GT, I don't mean this to be disrespectful, but this is for the purpose of discourse. I feel like they kind of prove themselves automatically to be the type of Dragon Ball fan that's mostly just there to watch action figures smash together. Because I
have a legitimate reason. I've given you my reason. Omega Shenron is an amazing villain.
Yeah,
and
you're right.
Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta has an amazing design who fights awesome, and also adds silly little antics, like having little party streamers pop out instead of a Kamehameha.
Yeah, I just feel like there's a strong difference in quality between the Toriyama stuff and the later stuff, personally.
Absolutely. They're like, the only good thing about GT is the Shadow Dragon Saga.
Well, I think the Baby Saga's good.
Baby Saga's okay, but I don't know. I don't think it compares to...
people hate GT. I think this is my hot take. This is like the Scott the Waz, people who hate RPGs just hate Pokemon style of hot take. I think that people who hate Dragon Ball GT just hate the Super 17 arc. because I think the rest of it is good. I
Yeah, it
think
makes sense.
it's just the Super 17 arc that sucks ass.
Yeah, it makes sense.
God, that arc is so
So
infuriating. Why didn't they fuse? I said that last time, but why didn't they fuse? Damn it!
back to what I was saying. My favorite
I'm talking
arc.
about Goten and Trunks. To be clear, I know they did fuse the 17s before somebody says something. I'm talking about Goten and Trunks.
I know. Uh, so for Dragon Ball Z, it would have to be the Frieza saga, Planet Namek saga, just because I feel like that has a lot of character development and it's one of the most iconic things ever to happen in anime. Out of everything else, Goku going Super Saiyan is one of the most iconic things in anime.
Oh, you're correct, 100%. I like,
If not the absolute most iconic thing to ever happen.
for me. Did you give all your answers? You didn't say what your favorite super arc was, did you? Oh, you did. You said it was the future arc.
The future arc,
So
because Zamasu is a great character, and I love Zamasu, and it's really interesting to see how self-conceited one can be, and a single individual can be across multiple timelines to completely take over a universe because they think that they're the best thing in the world.
yeah, for sure. So
Like, you have to be a different kind of self-conceited asshole to do
first,
something like that.
sorry.
Also, Zamasu's design when he fuses
Hell
looks
yeah,
fucking sick. I love Fuse Zamasu's design.
100% agree.
Now,
Um,
what's your favorite arc of all time?
Real quick, before I get into that, I do want to elaborate on my action figure smashing together point a little bit more because I didn't get into it like I wanted to. So I think most of like the strong character work that exists in Dragon Ball happens within the Toriyama stuff. Like there's flashes of it in GT and Super, but I think overall it is the most prominent in the original and Z. And also just like Toriyama's a fucking master. Like Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z are just like perfect works of art, whereas I feel like Super and GT carry many flaws that they did not carry. I think it's like night and day, honestly. Like, not to be blunt, I like Dragon Ball Super, I like Dragon Ball GT, but I think it's literally night and day. Like, Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z blow Super and GT out of the water in terms of quality, in my personal opinion. It's not even close.
Man, that's freaking awesome.
Okay.
Right? Oh, man.
Is that picking up?
Yes.
Just keep going.
Awesome, man. But yeah, like Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z, I think are just like this perfect masterpiece. I said it last time. Like I think even though I like the material we got after, I think if Dragon Ball had ended for good with the Buu saga, we would have had a perfect piece of art. And now it's a little bit tainted, but I still like what came out of it. Like at the end of the day, I'm glad we got more content. But just in terms of the overall quality of Dragon Ball, if it had ended at Z, it would have been perfect all throughout. Like people talk about Dragon Ball Super and Dragon Ball GT, and they have a lot of little criticisms to pick apart. That didn't exist with Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z. At least I'm sure people have found criticisms with Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z. Obviously, there's the Gohan stuff, which I refuted very heavily earlier. But I think the Akira Toriyama stuff is flawless. I truly think it's a timeless piece of art that Super and GT struggle to stay in line with. So that's my 2 cents on the matter. That's why I feel like giving to address the action figure smashing together thing. I think a lot of people's love for things like GT and Super and like later and like the Boo saga even is just like all the transformations. Like people just want to watch them all fucking transform and fucking watch the action figures smash together. That's also why the original Dragon Ball gets left out of a lot of Dragon Ball discourse because people don't really care about it because they weren't transforming a million times. It's a phenomenon that I've also experienced with other franchises. Like when I get into discourse about Power Rangers, for example, like there are the fans who care about like the character arcs and like the story, and then there are the fans who want to see the action figures smashed together. and they're two different sides of the same coin. At the end of the day, they're both valid. But I have a strong appreciation for like character arcs and stuff. So I think personally, Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z just has a lot more material in that regard, and I feel like a lot of the appeal of Super and GT is just action figures smashing together. There's good character moments in there, but it's not as much of a woven perfect piece of art as the Toriyama stuff. And now somebody's mowing their lawn at 8 p.m.
Hell yeah, dude. Mow your lawn at 8 p.m. Fuck everybody else.
Yeah.
You hate your neighbors? Go mow your lawn at 8 p.m.
Mow your lawn at 8 p.m.
Do it. Hate your neighbors.
Like, I think, first of all, I want to give GT credit real quick. There are two very big character moments in GT that I think about constantly. I believe they are both from the Baby arc, actually. There's probably good stuff in the Omega Shenron arc, too. I'm not thinking of it at this moment. This is the, first of all, I'll give you the small moment. If you'll recall, there is a part in the Baby arc where I believe they are evacuating all the people and animals from Earth. And Goku is Super Saiyan 4, which is known to be like this angry primal form. But he's still Goku. So he sees a little hamster hobbling around, trying to catch up to all the other animals. And he picks it up very gently. He's like, it must be hard being a little guy. And then puts him on the back of a deer and is like, there we go.
That's adorable.
Really
I forgot about that.
Sweet. And then there's the big thing that I believe most fans of GT will recall this as one of, if not the most impactful moment in GT, Piccolo's sacrifice during the Baby arc, where he sticks around on Earth when it's about to be destroyed because he's like, hey, I had to help somebody out of the fire, so I got left from the last ship. And like, I think I'm gonna ride this one out because like the Black Star Dragon Balls are really dangerous, and if I'm dead, that won't be a problem anymore. I think I'm just gonna like chill and die. And he talks to Gohan, and Gohan's like all torn up, and then he's like, let's not dwell on the sad stuff. And then he like gives this speech about how Gohan has grown and matured and how he's very proud of him. And then he dies in the engulfing fires of the Earth exploding from the Black Star Dragon Balls. And Goku feels his energy go away and screams his name, and Gohan falls to his knees and cries, and it's a very emotionally impactful moment. That is the one thing that people point to when they're like, GT is better than Super, because Piccolo dies in Super and it's literally a footnote. Like, Frieza kills him, they don't really bring up that he's dead again, and then Goku's like, I'm gonna go get the Dragon Balls, get him back, and then the next scene he's back. Whereas GT, it was extremely impactful, and it stuck. So, point GT. That moment was fucking raw.
Doesn't Vegeta ask Goku to fuse?
Yes. In the Shadow Dragon arc, yes, that is a good character moment.
That's very impactful. What do you mean that's not the most impactful
I said
thing?
I couldn't think of it. I said I couldn't think of a moment from the Shadow Dragon. You are correct.
That's Vegeta giving up his pride. That's okay, Vegeta giving up his entire character.
I forgot. I'm sorry.
Vegeta takes his entire character and puts it aside for the betterment of everybody else.
Well, I think part of it is like he already compromised himself once. Like he immediately felt bad for the fucking machine that turned him into a Super Saiyan 4. And then, this shit comes along. Not even his new Super Saiyan 4 form that he cheated to get can even get him close. And he's like, you know what? Fuck it. I've already fucking given up my pride once. Hey, Kakarot. Let's do a fuse real quick. Yeah, that is very good too. So yeah, GT had some good stuff, but the thing is, the difference is, I feel like that stuff is sprinkled throughout GT and Super, whereas it is ever present during original Dragon Ball and Z.
That's fair.
So to get into my favorite arcs, my favorite arc of all time, as I mentioned last time, is and shall remain the Android Cell arc. I think the character work was masterful. I think there was some raw fucking fights. I think that Super Saiyan became oversaturated right after this, but this was like the perfect amount of Super Saiyan, I think. Like you had your three main like Super Saiyans for most of the arc. You're like, okay, you got Goku, you got Vegeta, and you got Trunks. And then near the end, when the Cell issue was coming to an head, Gohan reaches his potential and becomes a Super Saiyan as well. And then he ends up being the one to save everybody in the end. And I think there's a lot of good character work. This is the arc where more so than even like the Buu Saga and more so than Super, it's like about Goku and Vegeta's development as fathers. Because Goku, trains with Gohan, brings out his potential in order to defeat Cell, and then realizes the mistake he's made when Piccolo drops the reality on him that he does not like to fight, and he's like, oh fuck, I fucked up, I'm a bad dad, I gotta do something about this. And then there's Vegeta, who meets his son from the future, initially is very cold toward him, is very not willing to entertain him and give him the time of day. But then the story goes on, and Trunks defies his father directly and proves himself to be a strong warrior, and Vegeta learns to have pride in someone other than himself. And they end up having they end up being, kind of close by the time Trunks departs to go back to the future. So I think there's very good Goku and Vegeta as fathers character development. Obviously, there's Gohan, who has to rise to this occasion, become stronger than his father. He has to watch his new friend die. He has to watch his father die again. So obviously, there's a lot of stuff with Gohan. I think overall, the Android and Cell arc just is the most compelling story in Dragon Ball, bar none. The Frieza arc is very close. Like, I 100% get that answer, for sure. I think the Frieza arc has a comparable amount of like good character work and amazing fights. And obviously, the smoking gun for the Frieza saga is the iconicness of Goku's Super Saiyan transformation. I personally feel like Gohan Super Saiyan 2 transformation hits me just a little bit harder, personally, in my opinion.
Okay.
Like, just watching Android 16's head get crushed into pieces and just seeing, like, Gohan break. And then there's obviously, in the Japanese version, that really, like, beautiful little song that plays. Like the bird flying to remind us how gentle Android 16 was, the life we just lost, and Gohan letting loose and breaking his limit. I think that moment is amazing. So yeah, Cell Saga is my favorite saga of all time. Now to go through the list of each individual show and give my favorite arc, a little bit difficult. I would say my favorite arc of Dragon Ball is probably the hardest to choose because I feel like most of Dragon Ball is very good. I feel like I want to give it to whatever. I don't know the number. World Martial Arts. A lot of people know what number it is. Like it's the 23rd, the 24th. But I'm not that nerdy. But the last arc of Dragon Ball, the final World Martial Arts tournament in the original Dragon Ball, in which Goku and Piccolo Jr. fight.
Okay.
I think that might just be because I have a proclivity towards the style of Z. And that arc is definitely the most Z arc of the original Dragon Ball. Like a lot of people conflate the Goku versus Piccolo fight with Dragon Ball Z for good reason. And I think that arc is done very well. I think there's a lot of good character work, and I think that the marriage between Goku and Chi-Chi, that shit was that was beautiful, man. You remember that shit?
Vaguely.
Chi-Chi enters the tournament and just like it gets to Goku versus Chi-Chi in the tournament and she just starts going off. She's pissed and she's punching, she's kicking. Obviously Goku's not too affected because he's been training with Kami and he's like a super powerful crazy guy now. And he's like, why are you so mad? What is wrong with you? And Chi-Chi's like, you said you would marry me. And then through conversation, they realized that Goku thought marriage was a food because of course he did. But then he's like, you know what? Yeah, I said I would marry you, and I will marry you, and I feel that is the right thing to do. I feel, not that he was marrying her out of obligation, because you could tell like there was a level of love there too. Like he was very genuine. He was like, you know what? I didn't realize this was a love thing. I get that now. Let's do it. And it was very sweet. And then obviously the Krillin versus Piccolo fight. Underrated, very good. Krillin was obviously outmatched, but he made sure he proved that he was a valuable warrior in his own right, and he fucking fought his heart out against Piccolo and did as well as he possibly could, and he put up a great showing. But then, of course, because the plot has to be the plot, he loses. And Goku has to fight Piccolo in the finals, and that fight is fucking raw, dude. Like, I think it stands the test of time. We'll talk about favorite fights in a second. That spoilers. That's the next question. But it's definitely a fucking legendary one. So yeah, that's my favorite Dragon Ball arc, I think. As for GT, yeah, it's a Shadow Dragon arc. I mean, I feel an obligation to defend the baby arc because people don't talk about that one positively as much. And I love the baby arc, to be clear, but at the end of the day, yeah, Shadow Dragons. I think the lore behind the Shadow Dragons and them being caused by the overuse of the Dragon Balls, brilliant. Fucking brilliant. I really liked how they each represented an individual wish. I liked the gag where the chick one was created by the panty wish. That was a good gag. The whole, like, each individual shadow dragon and like learning about who they are, what their powers are, and what wish caused them was an extremely like fun beginning of arc situation, leading up to the build up to Sin Shenron building up power and becoming Omega Shenron. And then obviously, the big fights with Super Saiyan 4s and fusions and all that. Very good. So yeah, I agree with you there. Shadow Dragon arc, at least as far as GT itself is concerned. As for Super, I've admitted that I've only watched it up to the Resurrection F arc. However, I do know literally everything that happens in all of the other arcs. With that being said, I feel like my answer, honestly, we'll see if this changes as I learn more details, but my answer based on what I know, because I'm not going to say it's the Battle of Gods or Resurrection F arc, because it took me a long time to get through those. The Resurrection F arc is good, but I don't think I would consider it my favorite of anything. I think the Tournament of Power, what I've seen of the Tournament of Power is just like, it's very high octane. It's very, I'm a sucker for tournament arcs, first of all. And second of all, there's just like a lot of high energy fighting, some character stuff, obviously, with the rise of Ultra Instinct, and all of that situation, and just a whole lot of stuff going on in the Tournament of Power. Yeah. And like Goku and Frieza having to team up at the end. Like there's a lot of good stuff in the Tournament of Power. So I think personally, based on what I know of Super, I would probably call the Tournament of Power my favorite arc. So there you go. That's my question. So now the big question, Alex, gun to your head. Your favorite fight in Dragon Ball history?
Out of all of Dragon Ball?
Yes.
The
Dragon Ball franchise, to be clear. Z, GT, Super, and Original.
Either Gohan and Cell, or Vegito, or Blue Vegito and Zamasu.
Okay, that's fair.
I really can't discern between the two. I can't pick between the two of them solely because each one is special in its own way. The fact that we've already like touched on this a lot of it, Gohan, it just being a very, very special fight of Gohan losing his absolute shit over the death of Android 16 and just going completely berserk into Super Saiyan 2. It's very iconic for his character, especially because he starts off that saga with saying, "Nah, fuck you, Goku, I'm not fighting." And then unlocking Super Saiyan 2 and just going absolute apeshit over this. It's
to be clear, it's less "fuck you, Goku, I'm not fighting" and more "I don't think I can fight. I don't think I think you are stronger than me, and I do not present much utility in this fight against Cell."
Yeah, I was paraphrasing.
Fair.
So like that definitely stands out as one of like I'm not gonna say the Goku Frieza fight was good, like the best one, because it's there. It's earned its top spot. There's no reason for me to talk about it. Nothing I say here about the Goku and Frieza fight is like memorable to anybody. That's why I chose the other two. Not that it's like not my favorite. It's definitely up there, but it's so iconic to the point where like it's not my favorite, if that makes sense.
Yeah, like it's one of those things where it's like
Everybody knows about
everybody
Goku
knows
and
about it.
Frieza.
It's very important and it's very good, but like there's other stuff that's a little bit better.
So like that's that for Dragon Ball Z, and then for Super, it's just the cinematics alone for the blue Vegito and infused Zamasu fight. It's just it's up there, and if you watch that fight and then you go watch the Broly fight, now I'm not including Broly in this list because obviously Broly will be the number one fight of all time.
Yeah, if you count the movies, yeah. Goku and Vegeta / Gogeta versus Broly from the Broly movie. Yeah, obviously. Come on.
Which is why I'm not including that. But like if you watch the Future Saga arc, the Zamasu arc, it's not at the same caliber, but it's almost like you see the inspiration behind Broly in this fight. The cinematics alone make it very, very good to watch and very entertaining. And it just makes you go, wow, there was so much time and effort put into the animations for this specific fight. Plus, you don't get to see, like, the movies are all for fusion, but the last time you saw Vegito was during the Majin Buu saga. So for Vegito to come back against Zamasu and have a Super Saiyan Blue form is super, super good. And I know I'm pausing like I'm reading a script. I'm not. It's more so my brain just trying to keep up with the thoughts. I don't know. It's the cinematics, and like you can tell that there's something they're fighting in that fight. Like you can tell that they are fighting for something big in that fight. You can watch all the you can show someone who's never seen it and say, "What do you think of this fight?" And anybody will say, "This looks like an end of the world kind of," and not just because of like the surroundings or anything like that. Just the cinematics and the facial expressions of Blue Vegito, just fighting for his absolute life.
I'm looking forward to that fight.
Future.
Really good. I'm so excited for that shit. Oh my god.
It's so good. I was half asleep and I still remember every bit of it. It's great. So I'm done rambling. That's basically it. I want to say the best fight would have to be between those two, just because there's so emotion behind each of the battles.
So here's this is me stealing something from a YouTuber, and I don't even remember what YouTuber it was, but it did strike a chord with me. This is not against Blue Vegito versus Zamasu because I haven't seen it, and it seems like it's epic, and I'm very excited for it.
It's not as cinematic as Broly, but if Broly was brought to the was it put into the anime, I feel like they would be equal fights. Does that make sense?
Okay, yeah, I get what you're saying.
Broly was part of the anime. These two fights would be very, very close equals.
Yeah, the Broly fight definitely benefits from it being like a high budget film with fucking masterful animation.
Exactly. But you can tell when you're going to be able to tell when you watch it. You're going to be like, if they put more money into this and made this a movie, you can immediately tell that it would 100% rival Broly.
Okay. So before I get into my favorite fight, this is both me buying me time to think about it and also doing other things that are related that are interesting and good to talk about on a podcast. First of all, I would like to give an out there honorable mention that I think deserves recognition at the very least. Vegeta versus Golden Frieza. Because
why are you pandering? Come on.
What do you mean? Pander. What do you mean?
That's pandering.
How is that pandering?
Because it's a great fight, but you're pandering to Vegeta in that, I feel like.
Yes, but I think the thing is that both character-wise, it's a character thing. Like I think Vegeta versus Golden Frieza works really well because it's the reverse of the fight that happened on Namek between
Vegeta
Vegeta
redemption
and Final Form Frieza. Exactly.
It's a
like
redemption fight.
The Vegeta and Final Form Frieza fight in Z. Frieza absolutely humiliates Vegeta, fucking kicks his ass, and then kills him in cold blood. And then Super comes around, and Frieza's still under the impression that Vegeta fucking sucks. He doesn't know. He's never seen Vegeta grow powerful alongside Goku. He was dead all that time. He's still under the impression that Goku is the strong one and Vegeta's a bitch. Then fucking Frieza, the Vegeta's like, it's my turn to fight, and Frieza's like, haha, you're gonna fight me? Please, sure, let's do it. This ought to be a fun 5 minutes. And then Vegeta goes blue immediately, and it's like, oh fuck. And then it's so brutal. You see, this is a phenomenon they do with Vegeta constantly, and I talked about this on the Colo cast too, if that ever comes out, if you want to see it. Just the phenomenon with Vegeta of him absolutely humiliating somebody. And unfortunately, it never ends well. Not once has it ended well. But just the impact of it. It always feels so raw. And I think with the Golden Frieza fight, it even has that added benefit of being that redemption fight where Vegeta's life was ruined by Frieza. Frieza took away his kingdom. Frieza took away his family. Frieza enslaved him for his entire life. Frieza fucked this man up. And now it's Vegeta's time for revenge. And you fucking feel every hit. Vegeta wails on Frieza. There was a shot where for literally, I think, 45 seconds straight, they're high in the sky, they're coming down, and Vegeta's just repeatedly punching Frieza in the face really hard. And it's so raw. Like, Vegeta fucking lays into Frieza, and you feel every hit. Like, I flinched a couple times with how impactful every single blow was. Like, it was actually amazing. So I just wanted to give that fight credit where credit's due, even though it's a fight that not a lot of people would consider to be one of the top fights, especially because of how it ends, which, by the way, fuck you, Dragon Ball, for doing this to me. Fuck you for not giving Vegeta any good moments. But, yeah, it was just extremely impactful. I felt every hit. I felt the emotional weight behind it. It was amazing. Now, on the same coin, back to that phenomenon that that YouTuber described. So the thing about the Toriyama works that sets them apart from like Super and GT in terms of the fights is I feel like the character stuff is woven into the fights more so than it is in non-Toriyama Dragon Ball works. Like, Toriyama does an amazing job of making the fights matter character-wise in a way that permeates throughout. And with that phenomenon, they were actually so good at pulling that off that I remembered a fight being one of my favorite fights, and then I looked back on it, and it actually kind of sucked really bad in terms of just the fight. Do you want to guess what fight I'm talking about? I'm curious to see what you would guess.
I can't guess. I don't know.
If you just throw me a guess.
Goku and Vegeta from the Saiyan saga.
No. But you're on the right track. Goku versus Majin Vegeta from the Buu saga. That fight, the character of that fight, the meaning behind that fight, brilliant. The choreography, kind of actually ass. Looking back on it. Because I remembered it being one of my favorite fights. This is when I realized it. So I was arguing with Demigloom and Insight Zoidberg about Dragon Ball Z. And I was like, let me show you a fight from Dragon Ball Z. And if I were to do this today instead of a year ago,
I would show
him Broly, yes.
Yeah, of course. But we're not talking about Broly.
We're not talking about Broly. But what I ended up showing them, because of how I remembered it being, was Majin Vegeta versus Super Saiyan 2 Goku. And that, again, character-wise and like meaning-wise, brilliant, but it ended up not shining very well when it came to just like the fight choreography, which is kind of unfortunate because the character of that fight, extremely compelling. Like the why speech,
it revisits
bone chilling.
that rivalry that first happened back in the Saiyan saga. It was supposed to revisit and mirror Goku versus Vegeta right off the bat from the beginning.
Yes, and I think
because the Majin power release took Vegeta away from anything that he was holding on to, and basically just enraged him and made him be like, "I'm a fucking Saiyan prince, and this lowlife is going to be my equal? Absolutely fucking not."
Exactly, that was like the bone chilling part, like the interaction where Goku's like, Vegeta, why did you let this happen? I know that Babidi couldn't have gotten control of you unless you let it happen. Why did you let it happen? And then Vegeta just gives this like bone chilling speech about like his Saiyan pride and how it's been beaten down and how he's been reduced to a pathetic shell of his former Saiyan Prince self, and he in that moment just wanted that back. He wanted his glory and his power back. He wanted to be able to be number one and defeat Kakarot like he always wanted. So he selfishly took Babidi's offer, allowed himself to be controlled. And it's that kind of thing where, like, it's a very sympathetic villain thing, where it's like, obviously this is a bad thing that he did, but he gives his speech about it, and you're like, I kind of get it.
And then you watch the fight, and it's just like, oh.
And it's not good.
It's disappointing.
To be fair, I don't want to shit on it too hard. It's not a bad fight.
It doesn't reflect what it's
but it does not reflect. It is not equivalent in quality to the emotion that was behind it, for sure.
If you want to watch a good Goku versus Vegeta, you go to the original Saiyan saga because there's the emotion in the fight. That's exactly what I was talking about with Gohan versus Cell and Vegeta versus Fuse Zamasu. You can see and you can feel the emotion behind it, like they are fighting for their lives. You can tell that they are putting their everything into these battles. And with that, with Goku versus Majin Vegeta, it fell short.
Yeah. Man, the new... I know you don't know much about Dragon Ball Z Abridged. You've only seen a couple clips. We had this conversation, but I would be remiss not to address it real quick. Of course, Dragon Ball Z Abridged is brilliant, and everybody should go watch it, all of it, the whole thing. Maybe the first season isn't great. Maybe you could just watch episode 10. You could start Dragon Ball Z Abridged from episode 10, which is the Goku and Vegeta fight. Like, maybe the episodes with Nappa are worth something, but other than that, the first season is kind of rough. But from then on, brilliant. And recently, there was, of course, for those who are unaware, Dragon Ball Z Abridged ended with the Cell Saga. They initially promised they were going to do the Buu Saga, but then they had burnout. They didn't have the creative drive, so they decided they were going to end the show with the Cell Saga. They were going to end it on a high note, because the end of the Cell Saga in Dragon Ball Z Abridged was absolutely fucking stellar. The final episode of Dragon Ball Z Abridged, I think Dragon Ball Z Abridged handles the end of the Cell Saga better than the real show. Like, it's that good.
Okay.
But then, so they're not doing the Buu Saga. But very recently, after years of this being the case, a YouTuber who is friends with the Team 4-Star guys, called Totally Not Mark, has been doing a series on his channel where he was reviewing each arc of Dragon Ball and then each arc of Dragon Ball Z, and he got to the Buu Saga. And he contacted Team 4-Star. He's like, hey, could you do like a funny little short for my video? Because that would be cool. Instead of doing one funny little short, Team 4-Star did a lot of funny little shorts. So we kind of got our Buu Saga, but just in the form of like little bits that can be strung together into some sort of thing.
Yeah.
We only have half of them right now. The half that we have is basically like the story of Majin Vegeta and leading up to the revival of Majin Buu. And that's another thing where Dragon Ball Z Abridged handles the Majin Vegeta stuff maybe even better than the real show. Like, the version of the Majin Vegeta speech in that one, first of all, has a really funny joke in it. Second of all, still has the sentiment. So welcome to Riely Tries to Explain a Joke to Alex, which is probably a bad idea, because when you explain jokes, they aren't funny, but I'm going to try anyway.
Don't bother. I'm not going to get it. I'm probably not gonna get it. You know, my boomer ass over here barely knows how to work Discord. All right.
No, it's not that hard to explain. I'm just saying it might not be funny because when you explain a joke, it's not funny. But I'm gonna try. So I don't know how much have you seen. Are you familiar with what Vegeta calls Krillin in Dragon Ball Z Abridged?
Nope.
Okay, so Vegeta throughout all of Dragon Ball Z Abridged exclusively refers to Krillin as the Bald One.
Okay.
That's he never uses Krillin name. He just calls him the Bald One. So the Majin Vegeta speech comes up, and Goku's like, Vegeta, why? Why would you let Babidi do this? And I'm basically going to quote the speech exactly here because I'm not good at paraphrasing beautiful art. But he's like, you don't get it. You who never questions why he fights. And then like he kind of goes off on like, you know, I don't remember this part word by word, but he's talking about like his Saiyan pride and how he used to be like a strong warrior, and when Goku died, he lost what drove him to be better, and now he's a shell of his former self. And he says, and I quote, "Now I'm attending PTA meetings and Krillin's movie nights. Listen to me, Kakarot. I'm using his fucking name." It's pretty funny. It really got me. And then, of course, we got the iconic line that fans came up with in comment sections for years, and they used because it was obviously perfect. It was a common bit for Goku to refer to Vegeta as best buddy, and for Vegeta to not be receptive to that at all. And then in the end, when Vegeta sacrifices himself, and he has that final moment where he's like, "This is the end. Bulma, Trunks, and even you, best buddy." It was beautiful. It was truly beautiful. Everybody go watch the Boo Bits. They're all excellent.
Okay.
But all that lead up out of the way. My favorite fight in Dragon Ball history. A question that I still have not reached a definitive answer to, but we will do that live. We will talk it out. So, there's some obvious candidates. Gohan versus Cell. Like, come on. I think there's plenty of fights in the original Dragon Ball that deserve discussion. And obviously plenty of fights in Z as well. Goku versus Vegeta, original style, extremely good. There's a whole lot. I think at the end of the day, I'm really stuck between two. And this is where the hard choice comes in. Gohan and Cell is one of them. The other one is Goku versus Piccolo from the end of Dragon Ball. Goku versus Piccolo Jr. Because that fight is just so good. It's just so perfect. It was the perfect capstone to the original Dragon Ball run. It's such an impactful fight. There's strong motivation behind it. It's truly brilliant, and it's fun. They got creative with it. The whole time it's not your usual slugfest. There's plenty of that, but then there's like the part where Piccolo becomes giant and Goku has to like outsmart him, and like there's a whole lot of like fun stuff in the Goku versus Piccolo Jr. fight. I think I'm gonna go with that one. I think the same reason why you're not giving your favorite fight to Goku versus Frieza can be applied to Gohan versus Cell for me, because like obviously it's an amazing iconic fight, but I think Goku versus Piccolo Jr. just is the perfect fight to represent Dragon Ball as a whole and its quality of fighting.
Okay.
I think Goku versus Piccolo Jr. is the perfect fight to encapsulate that. I guess the only thing it's missing from Dragon Ball as a whole in terms of summing up fights is all the transformations and shit, but it doesn't need that. It works perfectly on its own without it. So, yeah, I think at the end of the day, I'm willing to say my favorite fight in Dragon Ball history is Goku versus Piccolo Jr. in the World Martial Arts Tournament at the end of Dragon Ball.
Okay.
There you go. This is my thesis statement.
So we're at 2 hours.
So true.
Would you like to wrap up? Because Pokemon comes out soon.
Pokemon comes out in 22 minutes, okay? I'm stalling for you.
22 minutes, but there's going to be a download for it.
Did you not pre-order it?
I did pre-order it, but I'm assuming that they're going to
does it not let you pre-download when you pre-order?
There's like 0 download time.
Fair enough. I'm waiting for this rumor to be wrong, and for you to fall on your knees in anguish.
I mean, it's all over Twitter. Central Leaks said like 4 hours.
That's fair.
Like 3.5, like
3.5 hours ago.
Trust Central Leaks. If Central Leaks could come out and say, here are the new starters for Gen 9, and I'd be like, oh yeah, okay, yeah, I fully believe you. Even though the game has already been out for almost a year. If he says, yeah, these aren't the starters, here are the actual starters, I'd be like, yeah, I probably believe you. You're not fucking with me. I get a lot of leaks on Twitter. Because I've taken Gen 9. I've taken Hisui and Arceus and Gen 9 and watched everything, all leaks, all speculations, everything. And it has not affected the game. So.
Yeah, I don't think Pokemon is the type of game where spoilers are really going to affect your experience too terribly much.
I mean, it depends on how you look at it. If you can, like, I'll watch them for entertainment leading up, because leaks and speculations will build the mood up until everything shuts down like a week before. And then you're just sitting there mulling over everything that you've heard and whether it's true or not. And then you go play the game and you're like, wow, this is so cool. It doesn't affect gameplay. And that's basically what I've learned. But at the same time, I don't read everything. If it pops up, it pops up, but I don't search for it, if that makes sense. So
yeah, the thing is, I think Pokemon kind of lost their touch when it came to how much information they were revealing, because what happened was...
they need to reveal more. They're not revealing anything.
The thing about Pokemon is they always take like criticism to heart too much. Because I guess Dexit being the exception to the rule. But the reason why is because when Sun and Moon were coming out, people expressed frustration that too much was revealed before the games came out. So then their philosophy from then on was to just reveal not a lot at all. Yeah. Like the fact that we didn't know what the starters evolved into even once, never mind final form, before Sword and Shield dropped, unacceptable. And I'm glad that we got leaks that allowed me to see those evolutions before I picked that starter. Because I would have been pissed.
What were you originally going to go with?
If you'll recall, I was a Sobble Squad boy. And then I saw the evolutions, and Sobble's middle evolution was fucking terrible. And Scorbunny's was great. And then we got
Scorbunny stan.
And then we got to
years later, I have switched teams. I'm a Scorbunny stan. I love Scorbunny. He's a little
I did end up going with the Bunny Boy, because when it came with the babies, I liked all three of the babies. I liked Sobble just a little bit more than the other two, so that's what I was going to go with. But then the evolutions leaked, and
I was afraid that Cinderace was going to be firefighting, and I didn't like the firefighting idea.
I'm sad that they didn't get dual types. It would have sucked if it was fighting for Cinderace, but I remember the speculation around it being a fire normal type. That's what I wanted. That's
However,
what I wanted
they did fix it. I think it was the designs. I think the designs were very lackluster compared to Gen 9's. Because with Gen 8... I don't think
that's true. I think the designs for the starters in Gen 8 were great.
It's a monkey. It's a monkey bunny, and I don't know. I think the designs here have put a little bit more thought into.
Oh, but you're not just a cat and a lizard and a fucking duck, Alex.
The cat is adorable.
You can say the same thing about any set of starters.
Spaghetti Cat, don't you dare come after Spaghetti Cat.
You can say the same thing. But the way you're like, oh, it's just a rabbit, a fucking monkey, and a lizard. You can say that about literally any set of starters. Like, oh, it's just a chicken and a lizard and an axolotl. Oh, it's just a monkey and a turtle and a penguin. Like that's what they all are.
All right. We got to wrap this shit up. All right, we're gonna go. This is not Pokemon 18. All right,
Pokemon 18,000. Yeah, whatever.
This is Dragon Ball 3K. This is Dragon Ball 9000.
Real quick,
right?
bonus question, bonus round.
Oh my god.
No, fuck
Come on, I
you.
won't play Pokemon.
It's not out yet. Hey, Alex. What's your favorite Dragon Ball video game?
Dokkan.
No, wrong answer. Try again.
Look, I've played Dokkan and whatever game was on the Switch that's not Xenoverse. Fighter Z. That's it. I have Kakarot on my PC ready to play. I just never found the motivation to do so.
I have Kakarot on my Switch, and I had not played it for. I got past Raditz and got into like the training for the Saiyans section. Then I didn't play it for months. The first time I played it in months was like yesterday, and I played it for like an hour. Kakarot seems really cool. I'm just bad at like investing time into video games.
I don't play video games that much. That's the thing. I'm getting too old for video games.
Yeah, but now. Like, did you not play like Budokai Tenkaichi 3 back in the day?
Nope.
Really?
Like I said, the only Dragon Ball games I've played is the shitty fucking free-to-play mobile game that's fucking bullshit and steals all my fucking time away from me.
Okay, no. Let me sum this up for you. Let me sum this up for you. You've played the shitty mobile game that takes all your time and money away, and you've played one of the best games in the series. And your answer is the mobile game for your favorite game. Yes, that is widely considered, me included, to be one of the best games.
I feel like I would have a different opinion if I played with people.
You don't have to play with people. The thing about fighters is just like the mechanics are masterly crafted. It's an easy to learn, hard to master type situation. The graphics are fucking beautiful. There's a lot of material for Dragon Ball fans. The story mode has all these little character interactions you unlock just by using different characters throughout the story mode. You get to see all these little character interactions between characters you've never really seen interact that meaningfully before, or characters that you have seen interact meaningfully, and now they're like having a conversation. Because like during the Fighter Z story, the villains and the heroes have to team up against a common enemy. So like you put like Tien and Cell on a team together, and they have a conversation where Cell is like pissed off and salty, and he's like, "You suck, man. You're just like a useless human." And then Tien's like, "Yeah, but I shot those tri-beams at you. Get fucked."
I didn't play the story.
Yeah. Like the story mode has a
the
lot
Dragon Ball games
really
have always been about fighting, and I'm not like a PvP. I'm not like a one-on-one fighter kind of person. I'm not like super into it. I don't know.
Neither am I, but I think
it's not my cup of tea. That's not
neither
my cup
am I,
of tea.
but I feel like Fighters is really good at like feeling dynamic and fluid and like being really fun, and also keeping in spirit with Dragon Ball and feeling like a Dragon Ball game, despite the fact that it is a more traditional 2D fighter. Like I think Arc Systems knocked it out of the park, 1000%. I think Fighters is a brilliant game.
I don't know. Maybe I just didn't spend enough time on it. I'm sure I'll like Kakarot if I ever get around to playing that, but I don't know. The Dragon Ball games never really like appealed to me.
Personally, I played a lot of them. I've played all the big ones, all the ones you've heard of. I've played fucking Budokai Tenkaichi 3, Raging Blast 2, Ultimate Tenkaichi, which gets a bad rap. I personally liked it, but I think that's mostly childhood bias. I can see the criticisms people levy towards it and be like, yeah, that is kind of shit, huh? But I still have positive memories of it. Overall, it's a really hard thing because all of them have like pros and cons. Like Fighters is like expertly programmed. That's an actual real fighting game while still maintaining the spirit of Dragon Ball, and has a lot of heart, has a lot of like extra little character stuff. Like even like the little fight interactions at the beginning, like the one I described earlier, where if Super Saiyan Blue Super Saiyan Blue Goku and Yamcha fight, Goku's like, Yamcha, are you sure you want to do this? And I think they don't give Yamcha a unique response, and I think that makes it even funnier. Because Goku's like, Yamcha, are you sure you want to do this? And then Yamcha's like, get a taste of my Wolf Fang fist! It's perfect. It's wonderful. So Fighters has a lot going for it. And then there's Raging Blast 2, and the original Raging Blast as well. The Raging Blast series, just Beautiful, well programmed, well executed, great games. There's Budokai Tenkaichi 3, where perhaps the visuals have aged a little bit, but the game functions very well, and it also has an absurd amount of characters. A fucking ludicrous amount of characters, and it is legendary. Any character you can think of that existed when Budokai Tenkaichi 3 came out is probably in Budokai Tenkaichi 3. Any little fucking character you could think of. Fucking General Blue from the Red Ribbon Saga of Dragon Ball is in fucking Budokai. General Blue can you find me a single person on this planet who remembers General Blue in a meaningful way? I don't know if you can. But he's in Budokai Tenkaichi 3.
He's a little pussy boy from from Dragon Ball.
Yes, correct. He's in the game. The fucking Emperor Pilaf robot is in the game.
The one thing I remember about the Red Ribbon Army, real quick, is the fact that the only black person to show up, his name is General or Officer Black. That's it.
For some reason, I thought it was like the Johnny Test bit, and he was actually called Officer White.
No. His name in the anime is Officer Black.
Okay. That's such a dumb bit in Johnny Test, but it's still just primally funny to me. That there's the spies named Mr. Black and Mr. White, and the black one is named Mr. White, and the white one's named Mr. Black. But folks, overall, also of course, the Budokai 3, also very good. There's a lot. Attack of the Saiyans, the Legacy of Goku games. There's so much to love in the Dragon Ball video game franchise. But I think overall, nothing compares to Budokai Tenkaichi 3. Like, again, many arguments made for many other titles, but I think overall, Budokai Tenkaichi 3 had the biggest effect on like the landscape of Dragon Ball video games. It has the most characters to choose from, which I think is important with a big, expensive franchise such as this. It's literally like, I've heard, this is again something I'm regurgitating that I heard on YouTube, but it's literally like Dragon Ball Simulator. Like anything Dragon Ball you could think of, you can experience in Budokai Tenkaichi 3 and be a part of. Like, it's so extensive that it's insane. And it's really good. So I think Budokai Tenkaichi 3 gets the nod. The only thing that again, shout out, and I think I might have even given this answer before. Shout out to Budokai Tenkaichi 2. Because the one flaw of Budokai Tenkaichi 3 is they fucking gutted the story mode. Like they just fucking they just like reduced it to its base elements, whereas Budokai Tenkaichi 2 has a very extensive and very good story mode. Where it's just obviously it's just like Dragon Ball Z again, like you've done Dragon Ball Z before. But I think Budokai Tenkaichi 2 probably has the best, like, this is just Dragon Ball Z story mode in the Dragon Ball Z game history. But overall, I think Budokai Tenkaichi 3, its extra characters, its extra features, I think it just ekes out Budokai Tenkaichi 2, but they both deserve a lot of merit, as do plenty of other Dragon Ball games. But at the end of the day, I think Budokai Tenkaichi 3 is going to get my nod. And with that, folks, we can end the show.
Yep.
Alex, where can our listeners find you?
YouTube.com/college.
I like how you cut out, and it sounded like you just said youb.com/olochu.
Yep. youb.com/olochu.
Come on down to youb.com/olochu for all your favorite Youb videos.
Got projects in the work that I can't talk about. Not yet.
Was the singular of work intentional to go with the bit?
Yeah, it's one project. It's one project, but it's a big project.
No, but you have a project in the works. But I was asking if you were intentionally saying work instead of works as part of the bit that we were doing.
Nope, project.
Which obviously the answer is no.
No, it's a project, pretty big project.
In the work.
Might be the biggest project of all.
The biggest project in the universe?
Basically, what I want to do now that I've been doing podcasts for about I've been doing internet stuff for what, like almost 4 years now, 4 or 5 years.
Yeah.
I want to take everything that I've learned and basically just take all of my talents that I've acquired over doing internet stuff and being an internet personality, and take everything and put it all into one video, max out my talents, and see exactly what I am capable of.
It will be the last thing Alex ever posts to the internet. This podcast is over once it's out. No more Colochu YouTube videos. This is her magnum opus. This is how she exits the internet.
I want to see what I am actually capable of. I don't want to give too much away, or else I'm not going to do it. All right. Riely, you will find out at a later date once things are, because you're involved a little bit, hopefully, as long as you agree.
Oh, okay. I'm glad that I am involved in this thing I don't know about.
I'm going to ask you if you would like to be involved, and I'm kind of counting that you will be.
I probably will be.
All right. It's basically just like taking all of my talking, script writing, and editing, and everything. Basically everything I've learned from being on the internet, and just putting it all into one video to see what I'm capable of.
Have you considered perhaps producing a couple of like video essays before this so that you can kind of hone your script writing?
Nope.
Fair enough.
No. Because this involves other people doing talking. So I don't want to. I've said too much. I'm gonna back out. This isn't gonna come out for a while because I have a lot of effort, and I do have someone working with me. I'm not gonna say who because they don't want me to say their name on the podcast. But I do have like a business coach working with me as well. So.
Oh shit.
Yeah, I have someone working with me. I literally hit them up and I was like, "Hey, I know you do this, this, and this. If I come to you with ideas, can you give me honest feedback?" And they're like, "Yeah."
Is this business coach Penguin Mage?
It is not. It's nobody you guys know. It's IRL friend.
Okay, fair.
So yeah, pretty big project in the works. I'm not going to say exactly what it is until I have a decent amount done. It's still in the pre-planning stage. But
there you go, folks. Coming not that soon, but someday to
look
a
out for
channel near you.
Look out for a few other video game a few more Colochu episodes coming soon, eventually. New podcast, ColoCast, will be out eventually as well. Gotta get them edited.
Even though one has been edited for, 3 weeks now?
Yeah, episode 7 and 10
oh my fucking god.
are in the works.
I fucking hate you.
I'm keep this going because you won't let me have seasons on this podcast. So now I have a podcast of my own that you'll never know what episode number is which.
That's so dumb.
Because I'm gonna go and record a bunch of them before they're all released, and then just number them all differently.
This is a bad idea. What you're doing. This is not me being like a stubborn friend. This is me coming to you from an internet creator standpoint. This is a bad idea. Do not do it.
Oh, yeah. See, the meme. There's a meme. It doesn't matter. I'll do what I want. It's my Colochu.
Whatever.
Colochu.com/YouTube.
I disavow the ColoCast. I will only be appearing in 2 episodes, whatever episodes those may be.
ColoCast. Don't worry. You'll be on all of them.
Not true.
I'll just save audio clips and pull things from here and be like, so Riely,
get like a Riely soundboard.
Riely soundboard, yeah. I'll be like, Riely, what? So we're talking about Dragon Ball here. Riely, what's your favorite Dragon Ball arc? And then just come over to Detour Ahead, pull the full clip of you talking, and insert it into ColoCast. And it'll be like, you're already there. It's like AI. No, I'm not gonna do that. That's mean. I would never do that. Riely, where are you at? Where you is?
I got a link tree. It's in the description. Shut up. Go away. This is the end of the show. Goodbye. This would have been funnier if I was ready to get rid of the bots when I said it, but that's okay.
Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh boy, 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 boy.
Okay,
boy.
goodbye for real. Get out of here. Go away. Get out of here. Get out of here.